In this video, I'm going to be sharing the tips that have made the biggest difference in healing my acid reflux. Some of these tips are often overlooked and really important to consider if you're looking to heal from acid reflux. What's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about the tips that have helped me really heal my acid reflux. And I do have a previous video, if you haven't seen it, on how I cured my acid reflux. There I talk about kind of why I had acid reflux, how I went on medication and weaned off of medication with the help of some herbs and some lifestyle tips. And I just cover like general tips, all of the tips that you probably have heard before, but in this video I'm going to talk about what actually really helped me heal. The tips that were pivotal, because we get thrown so much information about acid reflux, about all these foods that we may or may not be able to eat, and things we have to do in the morning, things we have to do at the night time, and it's just helpful sometimes to hear what has helped someone else really significantly, because we don't have time to do everything and we want to also maintain quality of life. So if you're struggling with acid reflux, I am there for you. I struggled with acid reflux and I still do on occasion if I eat my trigger foods or if I'm not very careful. But I have lots of resources here on my channel for acid reflux. I really started this YouTube channel to share science-backed information to help people improve their gut health, their nutrition, their digestion, and overall well-being. So all of my videos come with the disclaimer that I am not a doctor, I'm not your registered dietitian, so always follow your doctor's advice, and this video does not replace or intend to treat or cure any medical condition. With that said, my name is Molly Pelletier. I am a nutritional science student getting my master's in nutritional science at Boston University, currently on the path to become a registered dietitian. I got my dietetics and nutritional science degree also at Boston University, and I love sharing nutrition. I'm really passionate about gut health. I went through my own journey with acid reflux and IBS, so I can really speak to that experience and how challenging that can really be. So if you haven't seen my other videos on acid reflux, I highly recommend checking that out. I also have tons of live interviews with registered dietitians, functional doctors, gastrointestinal doctors. Definitely check that out on my live interview playlist. That is such a great resource just to learn more information about what is acid reflux, why does it happen, and how to cure it on your own or using the help of a doctor to help you cure it. So with that said, let's dive right into what has really helped me heal. So I would say the number one thing that has helped me is eating dinner early. That is so critical for me because most of my symptoms happen at night, or they did happen when I had acid reflux. Currently, I don't have symptoms every day. Just if I have a couple glasses of wine without food or something like that, or if I have my triggers, I'll have some little bit of burning, but it's nothing like what I used to experience, which was debilitating. When I was experiencing acid reflux and I was trying to heal myself, I would try to have dinner early, around like even 5:30. I know that's like geriatric for some people, but it helped me so much. Having 3 or 4 hours before bed was essential. This is the key thing though, is because you don't want to be hungry right before you go to bed, because then you might not be able to fall asleep, and if you eat right before you go to bed and lay down, that can be super painful for people with acid reflux. So I try to avoid food or drink about 3-ish hours before bed, and that works wonders for me. When you do have an earlier dinner though, you need to make sure you're eating more calories throughout the day and having some snacks, a pretty substantial breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because you don't want to be starving at night, and you also don't want to lose weight unless you're trying to lose weight. But I know a lot of you guys have commented on my videos saying that you're unintentionally losing weight from acid reflux, and I definitely recommend seeing a registered dietitian because they can help you come up with some GERD-friendly, acid reflux-friendly meal ideas and ways to support your body mass and prevent unintentional weight loss. So with that said, my biggest meal is always breakfast. I eat like a king at breakfast. I have a little bit of a smaller lunch and then a lighter dinner. This pattern of eating is huge for me. So having that bigger breakfast and then maybe a snack, lunch, and then dinner is usually my lightest meal, which is counterintuitive and different than American culture, because I feel like in America a lot of people have big dinners and sometimes even skip breakfast. But if you have acid reflux, I think it's really helpful to maintain your nutrition throughout the day so that you can not be at night with a ton of food when you lay down. Another thing with meals, not drinking a ton of fluid during meals is also really helpful. So when I would drink a lot of fluid with my meals, I would notice that my reflux symptoms would be worse because it would just be so much in my stomach at once, and then sometimes the acid would start to creep back up and it would just be too much in my stomach all at once. So that's another tip there about having your hydration outside of meal times. And if you have to take some sips of water, totally fine during a meal, but most of your hydration should happen throughout the day versus right at meal times. Too much water at a meal can also dilute digestive enzymes, and we really need those digestive enzymes to digest our food and prevent indigestion and acid reflux. The second thing that helped me immensely was getting control of my constipation. So it's really important to not get backed up and ensure that you're having a complete, effective bowel movement every day. If you're not, obviously talk to your doctor or registered dietitian, but a couple things to keep in mind. So you wanna make sure you're having enough fiber, enough fluid, and exercise. So low intensity to medium intensity exercise can be really helpful for going to the bathroom. Maybe it's a walk, Pilates, yoga, really whatever you like that can help move things along. Also fluid, so making sure at least 64 to 72 ounces a day unless otherwise directed by your doctor. And with fiber, you always want to have enough fluid. So taking a look at your diet, the average dietary guidelines for fiber is between 25 to 35 grams. However, I personally notice to have an effective bowel movement, I need around 30 to 35 grams a day of fiber. And that can come from whole grains, squashes, pumpkins, fruits, vegetables, beans, the GG fiber crackers. I love those for adding fiber. I talk about them in some of my other What I Eat in a Day videos. So stuff like that can be really helpful. And also fiber helps to nourish your gut microbiome. And when you feed your gut microbiome, the gut microbes produce helpful compounds such as short chain fatty acids that help to decrease inflammation through your body. So fiber is very important. If you watch my videos, you probably already know that I'm always talking about fiber, but very, very important there. So back to constipation. When you're constipated, it really inhibits optimal digestion, and waste just kind of piles up in the intestines and can cause acid reflux because things are sitting there longer than they should. They're fermenting, and it can definitely worsen acid reflux symptoms or even cause acid reflux. So making sure that when you go to the bathroom, you feel like it's complete, if not making a couple changes or talking to your doctor or dietitian. The third thing that is so critical that is often overlooked is stress management. So stress can definitely inhibit digestion. Stress impacts the whole body, and it also impacts the gut-brain connection. So the gut and the brain are connected via the enteric nervous system and the vagus nerve. And when we are stressed, the vagus nerve gets the message that we're in an unsafe area and we may not need to digest. Maybe we need our blood flow towards our muscles and our limbs so we can run from a tiger. But that's not helpful. It's actually maladaptive because we want to be able to digest our food when we're in a stressed time. We don't want symptoms. It's really important to manage your stress, whether that's going for a walk, having outings with friends. Anything that produces oxytocin, one of the happy hormones, is going to help you release stress. So maybe you love like laughing at a funny podcast or exercise. Meditation has been widely helpful for me. I have a daily 5 to 10 minute meditation practice myself in the morning. And if you want to start meditation, I have lots of meditations on my channel. I also have yoga classes. I have acid reflux friendly yoga classes. So I challenge you to add in a yoga class or a meditation every day for the next week or so and notice how you feel. Your symptoms might get better, your digestion might get better. Stress can also cause constipation, so that's something to also consider. The fourth thing that really helped me was understanding what my trigger foods were, because you get this list if you're lucky. Sometimes if you go to the doctor and they don't even tell you what foods not to eat for acid reflux, they just give you a PPI. But if you learn the foods to avoid for acid reflux, it can be overwhelming and some of them might be your favorites. So really understanding like what are your trigger foods. For me, taking out caffeine was pivotal. So caffeine was seriously irritating my symptoms, and I noticed even if I have a little bit of caffeine now, I might have a little bit of burning. So know your triggers, try to be mindful of that, and also know that if you have a food that isn't as big of a trigger, maybe you can have that in moderation. So having a little bit of chocolate, having a little bit of tomato, a little bit of the fried food, just so that you feel like you're not super deprived and that you're not missing out on all your favorite things. So you might not need to take everything out, just understanding kind of what your triggers are. And obviously a registered dietitian can help you figure that out if you are feeling confused by that, or if you're having pain all the time. And if you're having pain all the time, you should definitely talk to a doctor. The last thing that was absolutely monumental in my healing was taking herbs for acid reflux. So I'm not the type of person to just order a supplement off Amazon and like hope for the best. I research everything meticulously. I'm very science-backed, and I am very aware of the placebo effect. So when I started researching herbs for acid reflux, I was on omeprazole, and I was just desperate for something because omeprazole was starting not to work for me, and I was in pain every day. I couldn't go out to eat with my friends. I couldn't have a drink. I was just so miserable. So I started to research what was out there for herbs for acid reflux, and I found a couple different herbs that I personally tried and have really worked for me. I also tried some that did not work for me, but the ones that do work for me are slippery elm and licorice root. I talk more about these herbs in my other videos. I have a whole 1-hour interview on how to use them, what they are beneficial for, what they do in your body, and I definitely recommend checking that out. I'll link them up here and then down below. But these herbs, I'm serious, this is what helped me heal the most. So I took the Nature's Way licorice root and the Now Food slippery elm. I'll link them down below. It's not sponsored at all, by the way, just giving you the real tea on what has helped me. Those two, I took 2 pills of each in the morning before any food, about an hour before food, and then I took 2 pills again at night when I was healing. I did that for about like 4 to 6 months. Saw significant improvements within the first few weeks, and then I kept going, and with the help of my doctor, I eventually weaned off of my omeprazole, which can be super hard. Weaning off of omeprazole is not an easy thing to do, so these herbs really helped me do that. With that said, you want to make sure if you're still on omeprazole to take the herbs about 2 hours, or I say 2 hours, but I think really 1 hour is okay. You want to make sure you're taking the herbs away from the medication, 1 to 2 hours away from the medication, because you don't want them to bind to the medication or interact with medication. So I took mine on an empty stomach first thing, waited an hour and a half, usually maybe less, omeprazole, then breakfast, and then I would have them an hour before I go to bed, like an hour after dinner type thing. In the interview, I did an interview about the herbs with the functional doctor, which I was just referring to. We talk about that, and she actually recommends opening up the capsules and putting them in water, or just getting the powder, and we talk brands and specifics on that video. So I'm not gonna go into too much detail about that, but I highly recommend giving it a try. Always ask your doctor before you take a supplement. Definitely talk to your doctor because they can interact with certain medications, but that was life-changing for me, and so many people have watched that video since then and have commented and sent me messages that those herbs have really helped them, and I'm so glad that somehow my journey or struggle with acid reflux has been able to help other people. So that's really why I make these videos, and I always appreciate hearing your feedback and your support. I love the messages in the comments you guys send me that this channel has been helpful for you. It really means the world. So that is what has helped me the most. Super pivotal, important changes that I made in my lifestyle that have really helped me heal my acid reflux. I hope this video is helpful for you, and if you have not already subscribed, definitely subscribe below, hit all to get notified for my future videos, and be sure to like and comment on this video. It really supports my channel. Thank you so much for your support. My channel is officially monetized as of 2 days ago, so it's really exciting because I worked really hard on my channel, and it's exciting to have it finally be monetized. If you have any questions, my contact information is down below, and be sure to follow me on Instagram at zucchini.who. I share lots of gut healthy and GERD friendly recipes and meal ideas there, so be sure to check that out. As always, my videos are just sharing what has worked for me, sharing science-backed knowledge from my dietetics education in the hopes that it may benefit you. So thank you for being here, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.